Hi there, this is Michelle Cashmore at michellcashmore.com, and this is my very first vlog. So today what I actually want to talk to you about is pace, and pace in your writing. And you know, I probably need to make a disclaimer straight up that I'm not a teacher, and I certainly don't know all the rules and wherefores of writing, but what I do know is from my own experience and as a reader and as a writer of what I believe what works and actually what doesn't work. So what exactly does pace mean? Well, I feel like there's two schools of thought on this, and one of them is, you know, get straight to the impact or the point of the story. So we're like bang, you know, as soon as you read the first chapter, you're straight in there, it's all happening. And then there's another school of thought that it's actually okay to have the slow build, and that you're slowly moving towards the action. And my thoughts on this is that both are right, depending on your genre. Now, if you're going to pick up a thriller or a crime novel, or certainly for me anyway, I'm going to want to be smack bang in the middle of the crime or the event, you know, that's creating this chaos, and then actually see, you know, how the story, you know, unfolds from there. Now, you'll often see this in movies. You'll often see the beginning, the beginning of the film is, you know, it can be the end of the film, and then, you know, the story sort of like unfolds, or, you know, because you're going to actually be smack bang into the crisis, and then it might go, say, like 2 weeks earlier or something like that, and then, you know, you actually see the build of how we reached those opening scenes of that film. Now, I think books and film, I mean, it's all storytelling, so whichever medium you use or which you prefer, pace is still really, really important. And you know, because there are other types of stories, you know, like, I'm not going to be specific about genres, you know, but some, you know, some people, you do hear them say things like, oh, well, you know, like a slow build or something, well, that will work in a romance, but it won't work in a thriller, or yeah, that'll work in women's fiction, or certainly not my horror novel, or whatever. But I actually believe it can work in every genre, because it depends on how you want to tell the story. So based on that theory, my theory, there's actually another school of thought, and that for me is one's actually based on genre, and then the other one's actually based on how you, as the author or the script writer, choose to tell that story. And from my personal opinion, I think all are okay and acceptable. It's about how it's told and how engaging it is. So in terms of pace, yes, pace is important. But a slow build, a building of characterization, depending on what type of novel you are writing, whether it's a smack bang, action-packed, you know, don't care too much about the character type story, or whether it's highly driven by characterization, where everything the character does impacts on everything that happens in the story, or it actually could be a bit of both. Now, if it's a bit of both, I guess that's where finding the happy medium about pace, and from that point of view, you could start quite slow and have this lovely gradual build into this huge bang at the end, or have the bang in the beginning and tell it backwards. I don't really think there are any hard and fast rules, but I think the main thing I have learned about pace is just keeping your readers engaged and not having great, you know, drops of info dumps, and not introducing too many characters early in the piece. I think watching film is a really, really good way to see how pace works, because a story is told in like 90 minutes to maybe 120, so a lot actually has to be said, and some of them are some pieces, you know, they're slow, and some of them are really fast and action-packed. And obviously a book, you know, can be the same, but a book is often fuller and richer, so a lot more is going on. So you know, I use film as an example because it's been able to tell a story quickly, succinctly, and keep the pace and keep the viewer engaged. And you know, you could say the same, I suppose, about a short story as well. But a film is kind of like watching a novel length, if that makes sense, in a different kind of medium. And if you're showing pretty much all the way through your story, even through backstory, then those slow moments can be just nice, quiet, little breathers from all the other frantic or highly charged emotional scenes, or whatever kind of genre you're actually writing in. So it's just a nice little step back. And if it's written well, you actually don't even notice things like pace. So they are just some of the things for you to maybe think about, and some things I've learned from my experience. And so the next book that you pick up, or the next film you watch, you may just want to look at those things and see what engages you and what disengages you, and why. So it's more about when you get to the end of the film or the end of the book and you go, oh God, I hated that. It's kind of like, well, stop and actually ask yourself why. Why did you actually hate it? Was it the content? Or was it more about how it was told? Now, I think that's an important thing to look at, because we can often just dismiss it as a crap book or a crap film. And sometimes it is. But sometimes it's a really great premise, but it just wasn't told well. It just wasn't executed well. And you know, there could be too much telling, for example, and this can happen in film also, where there's actually too much narration rather than the viewer just watching the story unfold. So I just want to leave you with some of those thoughts. I want you to have a think about some of those things, and these are just my viewpoints on pace. You're going to have different viewpoints, and I actually hope that you know, you'll let me know your opinion and give me some feedback, and let me know what, you know, what does pace mean to you, and how much importance also do you put on it. Look, you know, I personally don't think there's any hard and fast rules, do you? And I think everything's open to interpretation. So I'm going to end my very first video blog, and I wish you happy writing. And I really look forward to having your feedback. So until then, I'll see you around. This is Michelle Cashmore at michellecashmore.com. Thanks. Bye.